Voice teachers sure love talking about vowel sounds, right? And I'm no exception to this rule. I'm always banging on about the damn things. Your formants, your first, your second, your structure, your clarity, your honorary third, articulation formant, raising the soft palate and getting your resonant space, modifying your vowel, A vowels, R vowels, not to mention all the tone shifts that go with all your registers and it can become a needlessly overcomplicated process when you start to think of it in this way. And then you start thinking about every single word that you're ever going to need to sing. Think about how many words are in a song. I mean, how long is a piece of string? But, 30, 40, 50, 100 words? Maybe I should have looked that up before I did this video. There's a lot of words in a song, right? And not to mention in a set, in an album, you do, 3 45-minute sets is pretty common here in Australia. That's a lot of freaking words. You need to master every single one of those vowels, or every single one of those variants, know how to sing every single one of those vowels to do a good show. Plus, you also expect it to be expressive and emotive and, express emotion and the feeling of the song and sing naturally while also having fun and having a beer while doing it, right? This becomes a very complicated process. And I think this is why most people don't really look at vowels as, the first thing they reach to as a solution for issues they're experiencing. It's way easier to think, if I could just support and compress up to that next couple of notes there, I'll be cool. It's always the vowel sounds because they are actually linked to your register. So there is a simpler way to look at this. There's a much, much simpler way to look at this. The caveat being, you do need a deeper understanding of what's actually going on. I get comments from people, every now and again that obviously aren't singers that are just like, oh, you think that pronunciation is going to make you a good singer? You're an idiot. I totally get that perspective, but if you've been singing for a little while, if you do have, a bit of an understanding of this, if you've taken some training, you would realize that vowels are pretty much 90% of it because vowels are groups of frequencies. And when you're singing, you're creating a frequency. And how well that rings out is linked to how you sing the vowel sound. Doesn't mean you just sing different sounds. It's kind of shading your vowels in different ways to fit the register and also controlling your register. You can also use your vowels to shift your register. If you want to sing something in head voice, do a Jeff Buckley kind of thing, you can shift your vowel to make that happen. If you want to belt the crap out of something, you can also do the same thing. You can kind of widen your vowel. So how do we simplify this very complicated concept of vowels, all the various concepts I've taken you guys through from formants and ping in the vowel and all this kind of stuff that's probably given you lots of aha moments, but maybe hasn't made it that practical for you. Basically, we can think of there being two good vowel sounds in every register of the voice. There's two good sounds in chest voice, there's two good sounds in mixed voice, there's two good sounds in head voice, right? So there's too many words and too many registers and too many vowels to go through in a YouTube video, but we'll pick the challenging range for most singers, and I'll show you how this works with the vowels. If you look at any good vowel chart and you get to your upper mixed voice range, there'll be a set of closed vowels, what people call closed vowels. And I in most cases. So OE is your ligament sound. It could be written as OU. You want to be careful you don't dump your tongue down with that sound. It's more of an You have I on the other side, IH, like hid or hit or sit, these kind of sounds. Basically what we need to do in that register of the voice, wherever that may be for you, it could be different to me, it could be different for you, doesn't really matter. You just got to find it yourself. We slightly shade all of our words within those two good vowels within that register. Let's take a vocal line. Let's take a U2 vocal line, for example. If the lyrics are "if you go," the way that I say the sounds, "if you go," you can tell that I'm not going to be able to sing, right? I can't even sing in that kind of range. I can't even sing past my speaking voice using those sounds because they're the right frequencies for my speaking voice with my accent. They're not good vowels for speaking with. So, for example, we look at our upper mixed voices. It's past that second break for me personally. So we look at those closed vowel sounds and we slightly close down that vowel to an for example, on the word go. And you'll hear this. If you go your way and I go mine, are we so helpless against the tide? Every single dog. This kind of thing, right? So you can hear me singing "if you go" instead of "if you go." My voice is going to crap out the second I do that. You can hear me singing air instead of every. This kind of clipped Australian sound. Air, every. So this works in this register really, really well. Now, where most people run into trouble is they kind of stick with this setup and they incrementally squeeze the voice. They basically get stuck in this position. So you could, if I just give myself a pitch here and we try something higher, if you use those kind of closed vowel sounds higher up, you'll notice that it's very squeezy, it's very pinchy, and it can be excessively heady as well. So like I'm nothing but a. You get that kind of cartoony sound, like nothing but a user. And it's this awful kind of cartoony sound. I mean, it's those vowels are allowing me to get that. I could sing like that all day if I really wanted to, but it sounds like shit. And it's not exactly peak resonance. So there's a better way to do this. So again, if you look at any good vowel chart, preferably mine, you'll see that there's either a concession for narrowing your vowel incrementally is like how I like to look at it, but commonly it's re-widening the vowel, which is not a thing. You're not actually singing a wide vowel at this point. You're getting the voice into a neutral state, basically. So our becomes an ah again, and our I becomes an again. So for example, if I want to sing that line, instead of being squeezy, nothing, we want to make it more like an ah. I'm nothing but a user and non-abuser. You don't want to know it's on my mind. And then I get that really natural ring in that register of the voice, and it's powerful and effortless and free. And it's basically the good vowels in that extended mixed voice. You wouldn't always do it in that way. So if I basically went up my vowel modification chart and went to more of an oo and an e in the sound, you'd be singing an actual head voice, which could be a choice. So basically, you need to simplify things down. Once you get this deeper understanding of the voice and where your vowels sit and what vowel modification actually is, if you break it down into basically the best sound within each register of the voice, it makes it very easy to do this on the fly, or even just kind of find the position. You can kind of do this with a couple of words and you find that right position for most of your vowels, and then you basically sing the vocal line without overpronouncing. You just open your mouth and go with your tone, your cry, all this kind of stuff. Then the vowel becomes this natural kind of muscle memory thing with time. So simplify your vowels down to the good sounds within each register. Obviously, you do need that deeper understanding of stuff, or at least I did. I had teachers teaching me in this way many, many years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Never worked for me because I didn't want to sing my words funny. This is basically what it came down to. And I'd take in examples. Oh, look at Freddie Mercury. Look at Dio. Look at Chris Cornell. These guys aren't modifying their vowels. I can clearly hear them singing you or they or it or death or whatever it is. Lightning. I hear them singing those words. They're not modifying their vowels. I don't want to sing through everything, which was a reflection of my deeper understanding of vowel modification, which was non-existent at the time. It's not actually singing a different vowel sound. You're still singing your base vowel sound. You're still singing the word correctly. It's just that structural frequency of the vowel that you're shading with these good vowels for the register slightly color that sound within the frequencies, and it comes out sounding really, really clear. It's really clear what you're singing, but you don't modify it in terms of actually the pronunciation of the vowel. It's not really happening in the front. Simplify it down to two sounds. Stop overthinking it. If you need to do a deeper dive because you're having a specific issue, absolutely, you need to do that. That's very, very important. Understanding the why, the how, the when, the what, all that kind of stuff has changed my life as a singer. But ultimately, when I sing, I break it down into something way more simple and practical like this. So I've been quick enough for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and we're going to talk soon.